The quality of the research.
The opportunities.
The strengths of the faculty.
Top-notch researchers.
Working with other people.
The atmosphere.
Fantastic collaboration.
And the research.
This is really exciting.
I guess you have to love it.
Biochemistry and molecular biology as a department is very broad, and so students who would come here could interact with professors in a number of different areas.
My research project involves designing an adenovirus-based malaria vaccine.
We are specialized in studying lipid metabolism in plants.
We do biochemical toxicology.
My research involves the synthesis of plant oils.
My laboratory studies DNA replication.
I work with RNA molecules.
We're really interested in plant biochemistry.
Arabidopsis cold acclimation.
Using molecular dynamic simulations.
The BMB department has just amazing faculty. The whole department is very much focused on helping the graduate students develop and become such that they are really just terrific scientists at the end.
And you can go in and you can identify each point as...
I was treated like a scientist right away, and I was treated like a professional, and that definitely continued on into my graduate career.
We have a world-class group of biochemists here. It's one of the biggest biochemistry departments in the U.S.
The depth of expertise that's available to graduate students is really second to none.
If you want to do it, for sure, there are people who are willing to teach you how.
If I have a question, I go into Dr. Arnasti's office, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense, and can I schedule a time to meet with you? And he's like, how about now?
The faculty are very approachable.
I'm trying to get you into a position where when you leave here, you'll have choices of where you want to go as opposed to just getting what you're offered.
Biochemistry department has terrific facilities.
The facilities.
I love the labs.
Genomics, proteomics, mass specs, and all these kind of things.
The university as a whole has invested heavily in these core facilities.
We have on campus a 900 megahertz NMR, the best NMR facility in the world.
We use the mass spec facility for analysis of small molecules.
At MSU, everything can be contained within the university, which is really, really exciting because it speeds the work up.
Not only do we have it, but it's accessible.
Having those facilities on campus is really helpful because you can learn to use the machines.
This will come down, open the drawer, the needle will go down.
You can really take advantage of the different kinds of technologies while you're here.
You pick your tool, and we have a facility here that's going to be able to allow you to carry on your research.
When I came here, the option to go to any one of 160 labs was really appealing.
What the department encourages you to do is to rotate through 3 different labs.
When you first come here, you might not know what you want to do. With 3 rotations, you can try a plant biology lab, a cancer lab, a microRNA lab, and then decide, well, what of those is the most interesting to you?
The main goal is to understand what the lab does and meet the people working in the lab to see if it's a good fit for you.
You make lots of friends and also find out which field do you like best.
The bottom line is to get the student into the lab and the research area that they're most interested in, and so we bend over backwards to make that happen.
During your rotations, the biochemistry department pays your tuition and your stipend, and then when you join the lab, your tuition and stipend will be paid for by the research grants.
There are various sources of funding for graduate students to travel to attend meetings as well as for collaborations.
Funding is both from departmental resources as well as from faculty research grants, and a student in good standing can count on continued support throughout the PhD degree.
True that in BMB program we have more international students than most other programs around the United States.
Check your light levels before they go in.
Different students from different countries, they bring different culture to the lab.
We have a very diverse and strong international communities.
Working with students from other countries, I think, is a terrific opportunity. It allows you to see your work in a way that you may have not seen it before, and it also makes for, I think, a very rich cultural dynamic.
Having interactions with all these different cultures is very important, whether it be communicating the science, the research, or also on a personal level.
Some people might have grown up in a small town either in India or in Indiana, but science is absolutely an international endeavor.
I didn't even dream of studying in the US, but since I got this opportunity, I knew that would be the best choice.
So the Journal Club is one of my favorite things at MSU.
Once a week, we have a different graduate student presenting their own research.
That's a very lively conversational setting.
And so it's a good way to teach critical thinking and how to read papers well and how to present them.
And my work now has expanded, and I'm actually looking more into actually...
Science is a human endeavor, and that if you don't interact with other people, you're not really doing all of science.
A big part of science is working with other people and being able to collaborate.
So it's not just we work in plants or we do cell work, we do multitude of work which I don't think could be found so easily at other universities.
We encourage the students to think of themselves as students of the department rather than specifically students of one particular lab.
It's not individual laboratories doing what they do in isolation, but it's a very collaborative environment. So the doors are open, it's more of a community.
It's not only science that's involved, but a social interaction.
You really develop connections at MSU that last a scientific lifetime. That's a big part of what makes MSU what it is.
I've been able to interpret data that I couldn't interpret before. I've been able to read presentations and listen to scientific presentations in a way that I couldn't before.
And I can understand now what it takes to become a great scientist myself. At MSU, everything's here, and it's got the perfect building blocks for me to get to where I want to be.
Here, it's the breadth of research, it's the depth of research, and it's the quality of the research and how well funded the research is.
There's a lot of opportunities for you to not just be a scientist and be a grad student in the BMB program, but also be involved in all of what MSU has to offer as one of the top research universities in the world.
I think we have yet to see what biochemistry is capable of. I think we're just beginning to see the potential.